Hello, Dozer here, bringing a really fun video. So, the Historic Brawl Hub is doing a no ban list fun week leading up to the tournament hunt sponsored by I'm Not Fine. So definitely check it out. Check out the Brawl Hub Discord, check out I'm Not Fine and their Discord. A lot of great stuff going on here. So this week I'm playing Luke 99, and Luke 99, I've actually play tested this matchup of Winota versus Atraxa a couple times this week already, and it's about 50-50. So be a really tight game. Unfortunately, I'm on the draw. They're on the play, so this will be very challenging. So, mulliganing my first hand. I'm going to keep the second one. Really want to make sure I can keep Atraxa from coming down. If I can do that, I typically win the game. So, I like the Archon here. I like the Elite Spellbinder, even though it's not a um, non-human spell. It's still a very good value piece that I can put a clock on. So, tap land. Let's see what they've got. So immediate counterspell magic up already. So beauty of this format, right? Dark rituals, you've got channels, you've got demonic tutors, you got all sorts of great spells here. So the value of each spell is just, yeah, perfect. Memory lapse. I don't hate that. I already have 5 lands in my hand. So let's get that counter magic out now, and hopefully we can land Winota later. So they're able to run both demonic tutor and here budget demonic tutor. I mean, looking through a third of your team, it's pretty, a third of your deck, it's pretty good. So, the question now is, after this, do I play Archon to prevent them from only having one spell and get Winota value the following turn, or do I take a peek at what they get with the Elite Spellbinder? Both are good plays. I think I'm going to lean towards the Archon. Let me know in the comments what you would do here. I mean, this is definitely the riskier play. It's the greedier play. So if I get blown out here, we'll know quickly if I'm wrong. But this will allow me quickly to play Winota next turn and get some value, or have more things on the board for when I play Winota in 2 turns, and hopefully close out this game pretty quickly. The other reason I did this play is a lot of these board wipes are in white, so already we're being rewarded, and they have no white mana, so this Black Mark Connections shows me that they don't have a lot of counter spells in hand, or they don't have the mana for the board wipes. They need to dig for it with the treasures. So let's get even greedier. Let's play Clement instead of playing the Elite Spellbinder again or Winota. And the reason why is I can play Raise the Alarm on their end step, and then have 4 bodies that can trigger with Winota. And if I have 4 bodies triggering with Winota and Winota doesn't get countered or immediately destroyed, I think this game should be wrapped up. So I'm getting really lucky that they're mana screwed on the white. Again, I don't know what's in their hand, but this could be an easy Dark Ritual into Atraxa here, and the game's over. So there's Demonic Tutor, so we've tutored twice already, so I gotta close this out now. Luckily for us, this Archon of Emeria will not allow them to play anything else this turn that's a non-creature spell. So they can play a creature for blockers, but really the only thing they can do here is counter Winota or destroy Winota on my turn, which is still a fine play line, but they can't follow up and do something with this Demonic Tutor this turn. I'm also interested in Clement. I mean, I'm a big fan and believer in Clement, giving everything in your hand extra power and extra toughness. I mean, it's a busted alchemy card, why not? But I'm not sure if it's right in this deck, so I'd also love to hear from people if you think this alchemy card is worth it or not. So let's jump into my turn. So I think here we risk it, right? Because if it gets countered, I still have another land in my hand if I play the mountain and then the pathway. So I'll have 6, so I can drop a Nota back to back on 2 turns. So just double checking here to see if there's anything worth it. Yeah, there's nothing worth it there that I think is more valuable than just trying to close this deal. So let's see if we get lucky. Step 1 good. Let's hit the button as fast as possible. We're bugging a little bit. Perfect. Oh wow, better to be lucky than good. Nothing to steal, so let's tutor here. Haste is probably the way to go, if just in case they have a board wipe, so I can finish off next turn. The other way I can go is try to stacks out the bigger spells, but that would be for an then following turn to rebuild. So it's either Mary, Thalia, or Redain. Mary's probably the right choice, but I'm gonna go with Redain. They need big spells here. Aowen, power. Unfortunately, there's no creature take. Oh, and this is wrapped up now. Perfect. So unless they have Languish or something that does -4/-4 to everything, or the Alchemy spell that exiles everything, Boromir is going to keep my board intact. And even if they are able to play Atraxa here, we're going to be good. And I'm immediately regretting not getting the haste creature, because even if they blew up my board somehow with an exile effect here, like Farewell, the haste would kill him next turn with the auto damage from Black Market. So this is looking pretty good. Don't know what they have here. Has to be Farewell. Yeah, nothing. So lucky game one on the play, on the draw, excuse me. So that will set us up well for game three at least if we go that far. So, which I imagine we will. This is a very even matchup. So let's see if we get lucky again. Man, if this had red, this would be perfect, but can't keep a hand with no red. So this is fine. I mean, we have the Benelush Marshal isn't actually an interesting play here as well. So I mean, we've raised the alarm into Archon, so we have potentially 3 bodies and stacks leading into Winota swings. That's a good play. Deafening Silence, I don't think we play here. I mean, it's an interesting play. We already have Archon, so if we didn't have the Archon, I could consider it and leaving up the Barrage for a blue spell, but a blue creature. But the only blue creature I think they run that really this matchup hits probably Rusco. You think it's probably interesting to include. I really valuable the uncounterability. I mean, it pings Teferi, both 3 and 5 Teferi. It pings Oko uncounterably. It pings a lot of stuff. So they got to counter this here. Or destroy it here. So let's see what they do. Yeah, perfect. I don't hate it, right? It's a piece that they have to navigate, and I need to get as much removal out of my hand for Winota to stick. So I'm not feeling good about Winota here. So I think I'm just going to play the Benelush, see if it gets countered, which I imagine it will, which will justify me not playing Winota. If it doesn't get countered here, then they're either playing really well or they don't have it. So let's... So they got something, right? So let's try to keep their options limited. Okay. So they're digging. So I'm now leaning to playing Winota. I don't think they have the counterspell, or else they would have gotten the Marshal. That's that alchemy spell I was worrying about. Divine Purge. So I was right not playing Winota, I guess. So let's play the Little Warhound. Ramp a little bit. This is already looking bad, right? They're going to get Atraxa in 2 turns. They drew a bunch of cards. My removal in my hand will not deal with it. So I just gotta hope and pray. Do I try to play the Sokusan for land, or do I try to get the elementals? I don't have the legendary creatures, so I think I just run it out of the land. Yeah, that's a tough decision. I do feel on the back foot here. The board wipe really did set me back. And that's the case with any aggro matchup, right? If you can avoid the board wipes, you typically win. If you can't, you have a hard time rebuilding. And that's game. I mean, we're going to play it out here to see what I can dig for. Winota does have the way to beat through Prime Time, and I have done it before, but this is going to get Field of the Dead and probably Thespian stage, creating a bunch of, yep, called it. And then that's going to get a bunch of zombies, which will create the blockers. Yeah, I mean, I just gotta dig here. I have an uncounterable. Well, there's no, unless they have Pact, right? But let's swing him with the Loyal Warhound. I have some tricky stuff I can do to keep the Warhound alive. Aowen will get the Prime Time, so I was saying that's why I was gonna play it through. There's still a very slim chance. We'll block with the zombie. I'll kill it with the Melt Through, so I can keep the Warhound for more triggers next turn. But this doesn't stop the fact that Atraxa is coming down, and they're going to draw a bunch of cards and have a huge life-linking body. So I'll really need to hit another Aowen type effect, like a Brutal Cathar or something along those lines. And while there are plenty of them in the deck, I don't have a lot of swings here. I only have one on the Warhound to make that trigger. Oh, yeah. So there's an example of one busted card, right? Ramp, get another zombie, create more blockers. Now you're going to play Atraxa and have extra mana up available after the cast. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be crazy. I mean, they're still trying to play around the Deafening Silence, right? They only get one other spell, non-creature spell a turn. But, so, and that could be a tutor right here. Or they could now save the Snapcaster and probably something in their graveyard, like a cut down that we saw earlier. Alright, so this Ganja makes things interesting, so I'm going to try to hit the Atraxa, convince them not to block with it, and if they do block with it, I can kill them for free with the Oganjo. It's a very risky line, but I'm really on the back foot here. If I'm Luke, I don't make this play. I'm going to run out the Skyclave here too to make it look like I don't have anything else, only one card in hand. I can't eat anything, right? I just need more things on the board. And for attacks for next turn, if I kill this Atraxa. So this is like desperation. Yeah, here comes the Snapcaster and a removal spell, probably that cut down. Yeah. Yep, knew it, and then the Warhound is the right play, right? So no triggers at all. So now I gotta swing in with AON here. Yeah, I try to bait the Atraxa with the Winota as well, see if they can make unfavorable attacks, really just trying to get this Atraxa off the board. Yeah, and if they're a very smart player, right? Not biting for it, so again, just trying to see if I get lucky here. Now that I have the Skyclave for a trigger next turn, but they're going to go back up to 21 life here. I lose AON, which doesn't do much, but trying to hit for 21 damage off one trigger is nearly impossible. So I'm hoping draw a hasty threat and then go with it. So the assemble the team is good for them. It's not going to take them out of anything this turn because they can't play another non-creature unless they went and found a creature here. Something like Rusko or I don't know what else they have in their deck at this moment, so making more Thespian Stages, sorry, making more Field of the Dead seems good. Prime Time is busted with Field of the Dead. Great include. Yeah, back to 21. That will deal with the Atraxa, so holding on by a thread. If I'm there, I'm gonna counter this, right? Yeah. And that's I was saying earlier, right, like this is a very like a 50-50 matchup. Atraxa gets so much value. I mean, I can steal this with Zealous, but I don't get the attack trigger. So it just prevents more life gain more than anything else. They'll kill the Skyclave as well, maybe even the Zealous, just to stop anything. And I'll take it, why not? Yeah, so the Zealous Conscripts, that trigger there is purely, the reason I include it is to prevent blockers, like Atraxa. And if you can play it on your main, and then you can steal the Atraxa in your pre-combat main, yeah, that's it. Then you can swing in with your own 7/7 lifelinker, right? So, which can typically close out the game, especially in an aggro matchup. So, showing why I was included, but not doing exactly the work we needed. But we were in a huge hole. So now we're on the play, and we'll need lands, but I like this, right? Selfless Saviors, Protection, Raise the Alarm, creates a lot of bodies, and Adeline is like just a perfect 3-drop. It's one of the best standard competitive Brawl commanders. It puts a huge clock on. It makes humans. It doesn't create non-creature tokens, non-human tokens, excuse me. So it's a little awkward, but it's just so good in this matchup. So all right, well, we asked for lands, and untapped is great. So Delighted Halfling's awkward here with the 2 toughness, but we don't need to make our attacks now. So, and I'm not really a counter deck, so it doesn't really matter unless you find my 1 mana tithe. So raise the alarm. I have something, I don't know what it is, so Let's use Adeline. Another land. This is perfect, so I get the 4 mana for Winota. This will draw out any counter magic. So hopefully we'll have less for Winota. Yep, that's fine with me. I mean, it's a big enough bet that you have to take it, which is fine. That's exactly why you play Adeline here. You either get it off the draw and swing in for 10, or scares a counter spell. So I'll have my 4 lands and hopefully play Winota next turn, depending on what they got here. I mean, this could be a well. So you're not playing anything. I think I play Winota. I can't play scared. If you get the counter spell, I still have a 5th land in hand, so I can get it in 2 turns. Aowen can come down and take out any big creature they play. Touch the Spirit Realm also does it. Yeah, I mean, this is lucky. It's a bold play with 4 mana open. So, Thalia or Benelish? I mean, if I get really lucky, Benelish will close the game this turn. But I think Thalia is the longer play and the safer play. So, we'll see how much life they get in the end. I'm going to go with Thalia, but Benelish could close out if I get lucky in these next 2 hits. So, fairly lucky. And the Thalia is looking good now, actually. So now the Thalia is preventing any board wipe next turn that's 4 CMC, right? Because we got rid of the halfling. So Thalia is looking good already. But again, it'll really depend on this last hit. So we're currently looking at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. So yeah, okay. So nothing in their hands. This is great. So the only thing I can think of is a 3 mana exile spell, and it's the darned alchemy spell that I cannot remember what the name is. Because you can cast the 4 mana one because of Thalia. I guess I could look up the deck list, but that's not fun. If you have it, you have it. Is there anything else? Gosh, there's so many cards. If this is a real competitive week and not a fun week, I would be looking this up, but let's just do Atraxa. And if you get it, awesome, great content. So, and I guess the Atraxa play is if you can draw a Dark Ritual, giving you the 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 would still be off. So, yeah, and that's game. So, great playing, Luke. Got lucky on that last game on those hits, and you didn't have a counter spell, and hope you enjoyed the no ban list. And again, check out I'm Not Fine's tournament next week, as well as the Historic Brawl Discord.